And before we proceed to the storyline, kindly like this video, comment for more reaction and share to your friends. And let's begin.
2011 NBA champions Dallas Mavericks, where are they now? The 2010-11 Dallas Mavericks are one of those mythical teams that made their way into history books and the heat of sports fans, as they completely beat the odds and went on to win the NBA championship. Nobody, except for Jason Terry, thought the Mavericks had a true shot at the ring, but they went on to dominate LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh in just 6 games in the NBA Finals. Moreover, this team was known for its hard-working guys and the fact that they didn't have a true superstar other than the great Dirk Nowitzki, and there's a slight chance that you've forgotten about some of those guys. Today, we're going to let you know all about that roster, and what they've been up to lately. Brian Cardinal, now retired. Brian Cardinal, the legend from Purdue, didn't do much for the Dallas Mavericks during his playoff run, even though he did hit a clutch three-pointer against the Los Angeles Lakers in Game 4 of the series in the playoffs. He retired 1 year after winning the chip with the Mavericks.
Cardinal looks to double. James falls down, lost his dribble. Excellent help defense from Cardinal. Charge in Game 4 against LeBron James. Did he get there in time this time? That's awfully close.
He's there, but basically any time an offensive player jumps.
Dominique Jones, now playing overseas. Dominique Jones barely even saw any playing time at all during the season and wasn't a part of Rick Carlisle's rotation in the playoffs despite entering the league with high praise as a deadly scorer. Now, he's playing in China, where he's been at the best of his career since leaving the US in 2013. Rodrigue Beaubois, now playing overseas. Rodrigue Beaubois first entered the league in 2009 and spent 4 full seasons with the Mavericks before going back to Europe. His injury-riddled 2010-11 season prevented him from making a single playoff appearance that year, and now he's playing for Anadolu Efes in Turkey and the EuroLeague. Deshaun Stevenson, now playing in the Big Three. Deshaun Stevenson's impact wasn't because of his scoring or ability to stuff the stat sheet, but his top-notch defense, athleticism, and hustle played a huge factor in this team's playoff run. Now, he's playing for Power, one of the Big Three's 8 teams after retiring from the NBA back in 2013. Karen Butler, now a TV analyst. Karen Butler was supposed to provide a huge scoring boost for the Dallas Mavericks during the playoffs, but unfortunately, he was ruled out for the remainder of the season with a ruptured right patellar tendon. Now, he's a part of FS1 as an NBA analyst, after releasing an autobiography and making several appearances on ESPN. Brendan Haywood, now a radio host/analyst. Brendan Haywood was Tyson Chandler's backup during the team's playoff run, and while the Mavericks were really high on him and signed him to a multi-year deal, they eventually amnestied him to get his contract off the books. Now, he's a co-host and radio analyst for CBS Sports. Ian Mahinmi, now retired in July 6, 2021. On July 6, 2021, Mahinmi announced his retirement from professional basketball. Ian Mahinmi wasn't truly needed by the Washington Wizards during their playoff run, and the team eventually cut their ties with him shortly after. He was the Washington Wizards' backup center, and his huge contract has been a major problem for the franchise over the last couple of years. Corey Brewer, now in Sacramento Kings. Corey Brewer is a 10-year NBA star. Brewer was selected 7th overall in the 2007 NBA draft by the Minnesota Timberwolves, with whom he re-signed after stints in New York, Dallas, Denver, Houston. Now he plays for the Sacramento Kings. Back in 2011, long before being known for his top-notch defense, Corey Brewer was riding the bottom of the bench for the Dallas Mavericks. Now, he's having a mentorship role for the young Sacramento Kings, even though it looks like he could still be a part of a contending team's rotation. J.J. Barea, now in Dallas Mavericks player development coach. On August 15, 2021, Barea was hired by the Dallas Mavericks as a player development coach. J.J. Barea wasn't such an important piece of the Dallas Mavericks rotation like he is right now. He spent some time in the G League and then played for the Minnesota Timberwolves before eventually coming back to the team as a most trusted veteran, and has done a great job as the backup point guard, and now he's Jason Kidd's assistant coach as a player development coach in Dallas Mavericks. Peja Stojakovic, now an NBA executive. While Peja Stojakovic's best years were far behind him when he was a part of the Dallas Mavericks, his veteran leadership and mentorship played a major part on this team's chemistry towards success. Now, he's the Sacramento Kings VP of Basketball Operations and Player Development. Tyson Chandler, now a player development coach of the Dallas Mavericks. Right after winning the NBA championship, Tyson Chandler won the league's Defensive Player of the Year and grew to become one of the most dominant rim protectors of the decade. He then would go on to barely make the Phoenix Suns rotation after a stint with the Knicks, and was JaVale McGee's backup in the Lakers, and now already retired. In the summer of 2021, Chandler became a player development coach for the Dallas Mavericks.
Who do I become? Who am I at that point?
Sean Marion, now a basketball executive. Marion was one of the most underrated players in the world during his prime. His unorthodox shot was money from the corners, and his length, brains, and athleticism made him incredibly versatile. He retired from the league in 2015 and is now a majority stakeholder of the New Zealand Breakers. Jason Kidd, now in the Dallas Mavericks head coach. Jason Kidd wasn't the same dominant player he was during his New Jersey Nets tenure when he was with the Mavs, but he surely played a major part on them winning the championship. After retiring several years later, he pursued a coaching career with the Bucks and Nets and was a part of Frank Vogel's coaching staff with the Lakers. Now he is the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. Jason Terry, now already retired. At the end of Terry's 2-year tenure with the Bucks, his playing career came to an end. Terry's 19 seasons in the NBA were full of success. Over his career, he averaged 13.4 points, 3.8 assists and 2.3 rebounds. Jason Terry was so sure about his team's chances that he actually got a tattoo Larry O'Brien trophy right before the start of the season, and his prophecy eventually came true when the Mavericks beat the Heat. He made the 5th most three-pointers in NBA history, and while he hasn't officially retired from the NBA, but he wasn't signed by any team last season. Dirk Nowitzki, already retired. Following an incredible career, Dirk Nowitzki finally decided to call it a day and put an end to his career. He'll go down as the greatest player in Dallas Mavericks history, after leading them to a championship, winning the Finals MVP, one MVP, and becoming the league's 6th all-time leading scorer.
For more videos like this, please subscribe the channel, like the video and click the notification bell for more videos like this. Thank you very much.